Let's get a new day going. My dad's taking the van to pick some items up. Let's hop in the shop and see what we can do. Ready to work? There you go, buddy. Finished putting this washer together last night. Ended up replacing the motor, the shifter, and the shifter housing. Also put a new power cable on it because somebody spliced the original one. On a quick rinse and spin just to make sure all the functions are working. If everything checks out, we'll give it a good cleanup and test it with some clothes. So far, so good. I brought this Maytag dryer up. Somebody's already released the top half, so I went ahead and checked the sensor and heating element. They're both reading continuity. Belt is intact. It doesn't have a power cable on it, so we're gonna hook one up. Got a 4-prong cable hooked up. Let's plug it in and see what happens. We're gonna set it on a quick time dry. It's push to start. Nothing, doesn't want to turn on. On that note, let's unplug it and start tearing it open. Well, the washer does work. It drains, spins, agitates, but we have another problem. It's got quite the leak, and it seems to be coming from the center bearing, which is also why it's pretty loud when it spins. Pulled the front end off this dryer. It's not in horrible shape, needs a slight cleanup. Not looking bad, it's pretty clean in here. Tested this sensor with the multimeter, it's checking out. So I couldn't figure out what was causing it not to start. I've already tested the sensor and heating element up here and didn't notice that there's another sensor way down here. And after testing it, it does not read continuity. So it's most likely causing our issues. Let's get it pulled out of there and replaced. I'm also gonna have to replace the heating element. It reads continuity, but one of the ceramic wire holders is broke. That's not a good sign. We'll get both of those swapped out. But first, I'm gonna take it outside, give the element housing a good cleanup. There's some lint buildup in there. We're gonna have to get a bit hands-on with this heating element. I don't have a spare one, but I did manage to find this one in my scrap pile. Obviously the wires are no good, but all the ceramics are intact, and you can't take these ceramics off without breaking them most of the time. So the next best option is gonna be to take all the good wire from the original heating element and transfer it over to this one once we get this old wire stripped off. This is what we're left with. Now let's carefully transfer this wire over here without breaking anything. After a little bit of work, got the new heating element put together. All the wires in place, nothing's broken or damaged. It reads continuity. Found a new sensor for it. Let's start putting it back together. Before I put this thing back together, I'm gonna re-grease the drum wheels and the belt tensioner. Got the drum set in place. Let's hook up the belt. We got everything put back together, plugged it in. Let's see what happens. Well, it seems to be working now. Drum's spinning nice and smooth. We're gonna make sure it's creating good heat. Heating element's getting nice and hot. We're gonna let it finish out this cycle, make sure the timer's spinning through.